because in life we do keep going through cycles, and if we're not careful and not paying attention, it is easy to just keep recycling, keep doing the same thing over and over. And what we want to do is evolve, not just revolve. Hello, welcome back as we continue deep diving into the Sabian degrees of astrology. Why? Because they are individual storylines. They're woven into our daily lives. And if you know this, you can use it to your advantage. You can know what the energy wave is and ride it like a surfer. Today we're on Capricorn, Cancer 4. There are 360 degrees. We take a look at 2 each day. They're the symbols, the storylines, the imagery, the psychological profiling of each of the degrees in astrology. Without further ado, let's jump into Cancer 4 today. A cat arguing with a mouse. A child being schooled in the nature of the ego and how it creates suffering. A dragon conferring its powers on a maiden. People watching fireworks in the distance. Weeping willows by a pond. The stone here is cat's eye or chrysoberyl, and both stones will be in the description if you'd like to take a look. Enhances personal power, intuition, creativity, protection. Inspires spiritual growth and harmony. It aids the nervous system and associated pain. It relieves headaches, facial and sciatic pains. It is sometimes called a stone of good luck and fulfillment. It brings together peace with a sense of well-being, optimism, and generosity. Here we're seeing a cat and a mouse arguing, but it's not necessarily external. In fact, the main message that is here is that there is no external, there is no internal, there is only us. There are only our impulses that bring in what we're dealing with. So being that this is the first 5-step phase, the first phase, we're seeing how the decision that we made, we raised a flag and we said, this is how I'm going to be from here on out. Well, to say that is one thing, but it's likened to someone who's learning how to ride a bicycle at first. You try to reason with yourself in saying, well, I've always gotten along without it before. I don't necessarily have to learn how to ride a bike. I don't necessarily have to do, X, Y, Z, you fill in the blank. This is where the ego tries to trick the body and the mind into thinking, oh, you don't have to change. You can just slide right back into your old ways. So it's that kind of energy is going on. That's what the meaning is in the cat arguing with the mouse. So it may come through as someone exterior being a bully, quote unquote, but really it's the ego bullying the spirit, the true sensitive essence of what we're trying to bring in, because we're still at the decision phase of this new journey. The key is to bring together a sense of grounding and a sense of the spiritual realm together, to see them come together. And the cat's eye is interesting in that it has a definite left-right side and then a center that wasn't talked about here, but it's like a beam of light in the middle, so it does technically look like a cat's eye, but it can be used in meditation here if this is strong for you. If sticking to your guns might be an issue, and you can meditate on the cat's eye and see the two sides coming together, being held by the spiritual light in the middle. So that's what we're going for, and that's what we need to hang on to at this delicate first step. It's like the half step into a new way of being, embracing a unity of self, that we're worth the changes that we say we want to make. We're worth it. If you feel yourself trying to justify things, take a look at that. Pay attention to it. Know that it's a natural snap reaction to you wanting to change things for yourself. But it also tells me this is a very fragile leg of the new journey, and it's easy to fall right back into old habits here. So it's a fragility of a new way of being. So if you're trying to do something new, know that you may be tested, and know that in some, even if it's a small way, some way, keep exercising your quote-unquote creativity as the new way of being, to keep reinforcing your decision to take on a new journey, take on a new way of being. And that every little step you do that reinforces that helps you stay on that path. Let's take a look at Capricorn 4. A group of people entering a canoe for a journey by water. For a journey down river, people turn into eels. In the night, a prehistoric caveman hears the ticking of a clock. As a cliff erodes, a temple is in danger of collapsing. Footprints in the snow. The stone here is purpurite. It helps us attune to higher energies, opening the third eye and the crown chakra. It aids spiritual growth, self-expression, and healing. It can remove blockages, promotes positive thinking, transmutes negative energy. It is sometimes called a stone of spiritual growth. It equals the union of earthly and spiritual realms. There is a decision is being made. We're coming to decision time. This whole 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth step coming up on the fifth. We're making decisions. There's a lot of talk about water here, and it is emotions. So if we tap into our emotions, they will guide us. At this fragile stage of change, they're your best ally here. As what we're trying to do is to bring everything together. The executive makes the decision, the body follows through. But there's a sense of having been here many times before, taken these same footsteps many times before, the footprints in the snow. You just have a sense that you've been here. You want to try to get past it this time. Overcome or get past the same footsteps. Because in life, we do keep going through cycles. And if we're not careful and not paying attention, it is easy to just keep recycling, keep doing the same thing over and over. And what we want to do is evolve, not just revolve. And that's the danger here, is that we can easily slip right back into the same footprints we followed many lifetimes ago, or many times in this lifetime, whatever you choose to believe. And we want to get past it here. So it feels like this could possibly be, maybe not a dramatic way, but a crisis point where the cliff is eroding and the temple is in danger of collapsing. So be on your guard during this time, during this day. There are ego forces and forces in our world, because that translates out, that want to bring us down, that are afraid we're going to fail, and so we just slip right back into, or whatever negative word we want to say, afraid, angry, whatever. There's a hint that we're in danger of that here. And one beautiful thing that's mentioned here reminds me of a book that I just read. In the night, a prehistoric caveman hears ticking of a clock. Leave a comment. Have you read The Timekeeper by Mitch Albom? Interesting book. It's a quick read and interesting, and it specifically is that symbol. Dangerous conditions that crop up force us, and if we're aware of it, they force us in a good way to say, no, this is not going to happen today. No, I'm not going to be that person anymore. So that might come up today. So based on your feelings, you want to use your willpower to voice that you're not going to be that way anymore, that you're a new type of assertive and proactive person. So you create a new path forward. You don't just keep walking in the same footsteps. And astral travel may be going on here too, because there's one scene where people are communing on the astral plane. So dreams are probably very strong here. In fact, I know they are, because we're in the 12 days of Christmas and dreams are always strong. P.S. If you're following along with that, today is day 2, corresponds to February. If you you don't have to have my notebook to follow along, but basically each day during the 12 days, I take more notes than usual. You want to pay attention to your dreams, write them down. Anything that crops up that's negative, you want to try to diffuse it as best you can and plant new seeds for the new year that are as proactive for yourself as possible. So it's a way that you can plant footsteps into the new year for the change that you want. And day 2, the 25th of December, is February. So hello, February. All right, so let's see, let's wrap it up. You want to beware of getting stuck in thinking that you can't change. Remember, we're in the cardinal phase, which means new beginnings, new ways to do things. So even if in the past it has been difficult to take new steps, this is where you can plant the seeds of change. And yes, it is fragile, so know that and be your own best friend here. Tap into your emotions and keep doing even baby steps, take baby steps into new ways of honoring the choices that you've made in order to change. Don't just see life from one aspect. That's one of the caveats here, is to don't just be so grounded that you can't listen to your dreams, or if you hear a voice in your head, don't automatically think that means you're crazy and you don't listen to it, or blow it off if you see something in the garden and you think it looks like something, and it could be anything. Our spiritual self talks to us in many ways, and if we're open to what's happening right in front of us, like information coming from someone else, or you happen to land on a YouTube video and it just really speaks to you, it can be that's a way that it happens in the earthly realm, but also it can happen through dreams. It can happen through hearing words. It can be through the smell of a flower or the smell of rotten garbage. You listen to your psychic abilities here and embrace both, and it will bring you forward on this particular step. So that's what I've got for you today. Thank you very much for being here. Give me a like if you're enjoying this. Subscribe if you're interested in more, and take care till next time.